You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chuck. We're here on live on the EXP. You know what? I'm gonna do something because as hosts, and Wendy, you've seen how this works. As hosts, you got to kind of put on a mask, and you got to be like, everything's great, blah blah blah. You know, I'm all happy. But today, I think I'm gonna just put my cards on the table. Not bad, because I love the EXP and I love hanging out with all you guys. But I'm gonna put some cards on the table. You know, Chuck is not the easiest guy to work with. I'm fun to be around, but I'm sure if you were to speak to any of my producers, they would be like, we love Chuck, but there's always a huge but, much like my beautiful butt. And so, what's up, Eddie? So, the but is that Chuck does not always hand in his homework on time. When I'm supposed to give pictures and bios and all that kind of stuff, I take longer than I should, and I'm really trying. And I think JD and company would tell you that I am trying, because there has been a difference. But still, I'm not great at it, and I have to be. This week, though, our guest, great dude, but I haven't been able to get to know him that well. Why would you take that beautiful butt set up away from me? I am heartbroken. I know. You know what? You're right. But I do set you up a lot, man. But you're right. That was mean. I'm Canadian. I'm self-deprecating. My first is just to go straight into it. Chuckle it. Yeah. So often I'm not doing things, as good as I should be. This week I really tried. But our guest this week, you know what? Really great guy, but he wasn't able to get me the stuff on time. I know his name is Ray Jameson. I know we've got a cool book called The Madcaps, which we're going to try to talk about. And I know that he's probably going to be coming in somewhere between halfway through the show. But we're live. There's not a lot I can do with that. So at the end of the day, we're just going to work around it. So you know what? We're going to do something crazy, guys. You know how everyone, or not everyone, but enough people will be like, hey, let's come in halfway through. We'll do the trivia and maybe not watch the interview. And those people lose out because we're starting with trivia today. And he says I'm self-defecating too. So we're going to start with trivia. So what's up, Lorena? Good to see ya. So yeah, we're starting with trivia today. So you know what? Enough of that. Let's start Triple T right now.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
What's up, everybody? You are here on Triple T, Talking Treats Trivia. I am your host, DJ Dumpster Fire, and this is my co-host, Hottie McGee, which you never get to see.
Nope.
What's going on, lady? How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Woo! How you feeling? You having a good day today?
Yeah, it's been okay.
Remember, mask is off.
Mask is off.
Yeah, I told you we're doing whatever we want.
Oh, okay.
So you can be honest. I love it. I just got from JD. We should change the show name to Treats and Answers. I do like that. Okay. So we're gonna start with trivia today. Working and lurking. What's up? What's up, Jay Burns? So here's what we're gonna do. I don't even know what you're playing for today. I believe it's a digital copy of their books. Oh, we would be TNA. Oh, that's so brilliant. Dude, now I'm seriously, I was like, talk and answer, treats and answers, that's great. But TNA, I might change that. I love that a lot.
Well, it's not up to you.
Huh?
It's not completely up to you.
Yeah, but you know me, sometimes I make decisions that aren't completely up to me. So, you know what? let's just go ahead. We're going to do the trivia. I don't know what we're playing for, but you guys are going to win something regardless. So, guys, is everybody ready? Because we're just going to jump right into it and do it now. So, if you're ready, let me know, because we're doing it. Wendy, do we have questions today?
Yeah, they're fairly random since we didn't really know what kind of theme we were working with. So
It would be even better though if you're like, no, but we'll make some up on the fly. Like that would go very much with the theme of today's episode, that being hosted by DJ Dumpster Fire.
if we had to make them up on the fly, we might get like 4 questions done.
Right? Very true. Chuck and Wendy's Cavalcade of TNA. Okay, that feels more like a triple X movie scenario,
Sounds
but
like something on OnlyFans.
you're gonna have to pay extra for the cavalcade. All right, question number 1.
All right, number 1. Which British band has the most singles in the top 100 best-selling songs of all time?
You heard it. Which British band has the most singles in the top 100
best-selling songs
of all time? Okay, and just for those of you, because I saw Lorena, I don't think we see you here very often or anybody else. I thought Beatles too, but it's not. So what happens here is the first person gets 3 points. The second person to get the correct answer gets 2. We say, please, no Googling. You will find the answers. We will help you there. Not the Stones or the Beatles. So keep going. Keep finding other British bands. Think of bands with really bad teeth, not The Cure.
Really bad teeth.
Well, it's British, right? And one of the members did have a big space, if that helps. Duran Duran, nope. Sex Pistols, nope. So
they're
70s.
They're not active anymore because the lead singer passed away.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's not great that he passed away, but yes, that's true. There's more British bands. We do have a correct answer. So one person is going to get 3 points, and then we'll see what everybody else gets. But
somebody's going to get 2.
Yeah, and then everyone else will get a point. And if you make us laugh, we're usually going to throw an extra point at you because we're all about having fun.
Clash, that's a good one.
Clash is a good pick, but no, we do have a correct answer though so far, and it's by our own Jay Burns. So if anyone else, Queen is British, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to count that as an answer, Eddie. So that's right, guys. It's Queen, which I love Queen, so that's awesome. Queens. See, Lorena gets points. Points for everybody now. 3 for Jay. We got Eddie, Lorena, Jay, Steve. Yeah, that is it so far.
Well, yeah, because some people wait until halfway through the show and come and play trivia.
True. So Eddie, who is like Mr. Trivia, had no idea that they were British, and I love that. Yeah, I like Queen more than the Beatles too. Actually, I'll give you that. 100. I definitely like 70s rock more than 60s. Wendy, do we have a question too?
Yes, we do.
Excellent.
All right. How many theme parks make up Walt Disney World?
How many theme parks? It's that guitar. Nothing sounds like it. Did you know? Okay, well, again, the question is, how many theme parks make up Walt Disney World? See, even Lorena says Queen's better. Did you know that Brian May actually, his dad was a guitar builder, and he actually built his own guitar. So that guitar that he goes out and plays all the time. By the way, we do have a correct answer so far.
Oh, we have the 2.
Do we have the 2?
Yep.
I know Steve Vendetta got it, and so did Eddie. It's 4. And what are they, Wendy?
They are the Epcot Center, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios.
Boom. 4. 281. Yeah, I think I said 17, and Wendy's like, way too high. So yeah, we got all that. Question 3.
All right. 3 artists have headlined the Super Bowl halftime show twice. Name one of them.
I think the water parks are but they're a part of certain. Whether
not a separate theme park.
Yeah, they're not a separate theme park. It's a water park within whatever area it's in. I've never been, so. But what was the question again?
3 artists have headlined the
That's
Super
right.
Bowl halftime show twice. Name one of them.
So name one of the 3 artists who have hosted hosted headline.
Headlined.
Yeah. Okay. We do have. So we only have one correct answer, but we do have it by 2 different people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now we have another one.
We have two correct answers, but by the same person.
Oh no! Steve Vendetta came in though. So
there it is. Okay, yeah.
Eddie Von B got it right with Timberlake, and then Steve Vendetta also came in with Timberlake. Bruno Mars is one as well. And Wendy, who was the third?
Nelly.
Does Nelly even do anything anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's my bet. I was sure it would be Mel Torme, right? The Velvet Fog is here.
They're trying to make money. Sorry.
I loved Mel Torme. Actually, I only loved Mel Torme because you would see him on shows like Night Court and Seinfeld. That was the only reason.
I don't know if I can listen to a whole show. I could appreciate a couple of songs and then I'd be ready to move on.
Nelly from Little House on the Prairie. How'd you guess? Was that the blind one?
No, that was the blonde-haired chick that was kind of a biatch.
Oh, look at you holding back. But not quite. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Eddie already got the 3 points. Okay, question 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 4. Which Marvel Comics crossover event pitted superheroes against each other in 2006?
And later became a movie.
Yes.
That was the brat that fought with Laura all the time. Yeah. I still like the blind one.
It was a sister.
Yeah.
Nelly wasn't part of their family.
I know. Okay. No, once you said the blonde one, I knew it.
Oh.
We do have a 3-pointer. Ooh. Well, I mean, technically, Steve, you might not be wrong, but you did come back in with the right one. It is Civil War. Oh, and actually, but it wasn't. Lorena said it first. I love how
Jay got the 3 points.
Yeah, and then Lorena came in second with Civil War.
Yeah.
It's funny, Lorena's was not there and then popped in. By the way, everybody, I don't know if you guys knew this. We're live on Instagram now. So, guys, if you're watching on Instagram and you're answering, we can't see anything you're saying because Instagram does not connect to us. So come check us out on YouTube or Facebook or we're on Twitch as well.
We can't see the Twitch.
Oh, we can't see Twitch? I thought we could. Actually, I bet you JD's gonna pop in and be like, "Yeah, we can't see Twitch." Nice try, Wendy. Not Instagram. Oh, okay. So he can see stuff. We can't. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, cool. Thank you. That's a big help. All right, cool. So we do. If you do answer on Instagram, guys, you're good. We will get the answer, and he'll let us know when it shows up. All right, great. Question what? 12? 5.
Already?
I don't know, man. No. Do I look like I'm keeping count of anything today? It's DJ Dumpster Fire. Come on. All right.
No more new names.
Okay, fair. No more new names. Right. Question 5.
Number 5. Which comic superhero team has had members named Cyblade, Ripclaw, and Stryker, among others?
It was so annoying because I knew it. Like, Wendy tried to write a script for them. Well, you did write a script for them. Sent it out for the Top Cow contest. And I've read a bunch of their stuff. We have their we have the hardback. And yeah. Okay. We have one answer so far. And it's correct. And Jay comes right in with question number 2. Everybody else, just throw any old answer in. You'll get points. But Steve Vendetta gets the 3 points. Jay gets the 2. That's right. It is Cyberforce, which is actually a pretty cool book. Very
I mean, it's not the best book out there, but
it's got that X-Men feel to it.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello. See, Lorena, get points too. There we are. Let's do question 6, and then why don't we take a break? We'll take an early break. All right.
All right, number 6.
Yep.
February 27th is designated as a celebration of what franchise?
Ooh, this one's going to be tough, I think, for you guys. Because it's a younger franchise, and our demographic tends to be a little older. I'm always surprised by our...
Started in the 90s?
Pardon?
Started in the 90s.
Late 90s. I think like 97, yeah.
97, 96, yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of took a little bit of a dip, and then not much, just a little.
No, and then
now it's just exploded again.
Eddie, if you're gonna pick one, you have to pick one. So just put them both. Well, and it's like video games and a TV show, movies, everything. Wendy, how are we gonna? Oh, I love that. My daughter loves both. So how are we gonna do it? Are we gonna give the 3 points?
Pick an answer first. So I think the 3 points goes to Jay.
Okay.
Because he actually said it first.
And then what? You want to give it to Eddie because he was there, or give it to A&W? You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Because it's Dumpster Fire Day. We're going to have some fun. 3 points to Jay, 2 points to Eddie and Steve.
Okay.
All right? Pardon me?
I don't know. Yeah, JD said A&W. I don't know what that's for. Oh, for the franchise, I guess.
Hey, Kenneth. Oh, speaking of Kenneth, guys, just so everyone's aware, I have been told by several creators, I don't know whose prizes they are, but I do know prizes are being sent out. Wendy and I are still looking, still tracking everything out, but prizes...
Mostly the digital stuff that we're having to check on.
Yeah, but prizes are being sent out, so just so everyone's aware. Restaurant franchise. I would totally own the crap out of an A&W. I would love that. So you know what, guys? We're going to take a break right now, and then we'll come back. We'll finish up trivia, and we'll see where we're going from there. So you know what? We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
before 10 o'clock.
And we are back. That's right, everybody. Talking Treats Trivia or TNA Trivia, whatever you want. It's dumpster fire day today, and we're having fun. We're already halfway through the trivia, but we're going to keep on going. More than halfway, right? Yeah. We're going to keep going, and if our guest shows up, then we'll go and chat with them. And if they don't, Wendy and I are just going to have a blast. Either way, you guys are going to win something, and we're going to find out what it is by the end of the episode. Question 7, right?
Yes.
Question 7. Let's do it, guys.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So, number 7. What comedian recently offered Clarence Thomas $1 million per year and an RV if he resigned his position on the Supreme Court?
And not just a regular RV. I looked at that thing. It's a $2.5 million RV. It is gorgeous. And basically, he wants Clarence Thomas out so bad that he said, the channel that I work for, HBO, will not pay for it. Not Joe Rogan, will not pay for it. I'm paying for it out of my own money. And so he's like, that means that if you take me up on this, I'm going to have to go out on the road and make sure that I make $1 million every year at least to pay for you. So yeah. Lorena, you're very close, and we're probably going to give you the points, but maybe switch those names around. We will give it to her. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right, guys. John Oliver, go watch the episode. First off, it's hilarious. He talks about all the iniquities and issues with the Supreme Court, which I love, and especially Clarence Thomas. Very interesting. Really enjoyed it a lot. But then, yeah, he did that, and he likes to go big. He even had a contract there and everything. So that was really funny. John Oliver. We got 3 points to Lorena and 2 points to Steve Vendetta. Mom's trying to call me all of a sudden. Yeah, thanks, Mom. All right. Wendy?
Yes, number 8.
Question number 8.
Which personal computer is believed to have sold the most units over its 11-year lifespan?
So one specific computer lasted like 11 years. Yeah. What was it?
It was one of the really early ones.
Yeah.
No, that was one of the first 3 that were talking about, but that's not the right one.
All right, JD gets extra points. That's hilarious. Did you see what he said? The desktop I'm on right now. So yeah, Apple II is a good answer, and IBM. So it's a specific computer. So like I said, iMac, and Wendy was like earlier. So not Apple II. In fact, not an Apple product at all. Even earlier. Think early, guys. Early computers. My calculator.
Think at the time of Tandy. That's not the answer, but Tandy computers were around.
Yeah. Old computers.
Yes.
Really, close to the beginning of the personal computer.
Yes.
Yeah. See, we got a correct answer now. What do you want to do here, Wendy?
They had to get the whole thing, so it goes to Steve.
So we'll give it to Steve, and then the 2 points to Eddie?
Yeah.
All right. Commodore 64.
They estimated they sold about 17 million.
Nice. 17 million Commodore 64s. Holy crap. Yeah, trivia is early today, Rayla. Maybe someone in the chat will explain it to you. Was that question 8, Wendell?
Yes.
Okay, so question 9?
Now, number 9. In what decade was the first film ever screened at a drive-in theater?
This was cool. It turns out I thought I knew it. I was off by a decade. I mean, you can still answer now, Rayla. The likelihood of you winning is not great.
We do have a correct answer.
We do have a correct answer, so now we need other people to give the same answer. So
Everybody's right around it. Well, most everybody's right
actually,
around it.
Steve Vendetta said it. I think he just accidentally put a 2 afterwards.
Let me see.
I don't think that's a Beverly Hills 19402. That's not like a zip code. I think he meant to say 1940s.
But it's not 40s.
Oh, yeah. So I'm wrong. Okay, fair enough.
So we got Eddie.
Well,
Okay, we do. So Eddie got
loud
the 3
numbers.
points. Eddie got the 3, and Steve got the 2.
Okay. Cool. All right. So our guest has just shown up. We're still going to finish trivia right now, but we're going to bring him in also just so that we can find out what tonight's what we're playing for tonight. But we only have one question?
Yeah.
So he can hang out for the final question and then we'll move on. So let's bring Ray in. Ray, what's going on, man?
Hi there. Good to see you.
I'm doing good, but so you were doing stuff with family, right?
I was. I had some extended gymnastics practice with my children, so they're just getting to bed now.
Nice. And dude, kids have to come first, so I completely get it.
I really appreciate your patience.
No, dude, yeah, not an issue. So the way that the show goes is we usually sit down, chat with you, and then we do trivia afterwards, and they win a prize that you've brought. So instead, we just changed it around. We're doing the trivia first. So we're just going to do the last answer. But can you tell them what they're playing for tonight? Because we had talked about...
Yes, what they're going to be playing for is for my upcoming first issue of a miniseries called The Madcaps. I'm going to be giving away 1 digital copy of the first issue. It will not be given until the Kickstarter has finished its campaign run. But that will be one to whoever this lucky winner is.
So the Madcaps is happening. We're about to talk about it a bunch right after this, but that's what you guys are playing for. Once the Kickstarter campaign is done, you guys will be sent a digital copy of the Madcaps. Pardon me?
Eddie suggested let's hold off on the last trivia question until after the interview.
I mean, we can do that if everyone wants to stick around. I just don't want someone to feel like they have to stick around for the next half hour.
I'm okay with trivia up front. If you've got some momentum here, then definitely go for it.
You know what? I think Eddie's right though. Let's stick around. We're gonna hold on to it. We're gonna do it, and then we'll give it away at the very end. When you pretty much have everything set up, right? You know who's winning and what points we're at.
I know where we're at right now. Yeah.
Okay, and we've got one last question.
Yep.
We'll do the last question at the very end. So you know what? Game over for now. We're going to come back to the very end. Guys, please stick around. We're hanging out with Ray. Ray, what's going on, homie?
Well, I guess I'm the halftime show.
No, you are the show. We've been halftiming it the whole time.
The last Super Bowl. Oh, that's hilarious. So I'm here to talk about the Madcaps. I've started it's going to be a 3-issue miniseries. Issue number 1 launches in April. I have shared with you some art. Are you allowed to show it on here while I'm talking?
So I don't have access to it right now. The art I actually was going to put as a thumbnail.
Okay.
Not a big deal, but I mean, if you have something to show her, you can. Cool. If not,
share my screen. I don't use StreamYard. There's a present button. Okay, here. Let me get some pictures ready. That way, I am 30.
If you've got any special movies or whatever on a tab, make sure that tab is like minimized.
I understand. I've got nothing to hide, but I do appreciate your concern. I'm going to open. That's great. I was not anticipating that. If I can,
that's been the Mad Cat. Oh, cool, yeah. And everyone, please remember, Ray is setting up a cool prize for you guys. So if you can, go and at least in this case, share and follow the page.
Yes.
Share
So
and follow the page.
you can look up on Kickstarter, The Mad Caps. It's coming soon by Philbo Punishing. Philbo Publishing. I was going to say Punishing. Okay, I think I'm set up here. Shout out to Philbo.
Yeah, Phil Rustert, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm just sharing him now so he can watch along. There we go. All right. So I have present slides. I feel like I'm at Comic-Con. That's hilarious. Share works the best. Screen share easiest. Okay, so I'm going to have to window. Okay, we're making sense here. I'm going to be Canadian right now and apologize. Okay, so let me go to.
Wait, are you Canadian?
I am. Yes, I am.
So am I. So that okay.
Where are you? In?
Just north of Toronto.
North of Toronto. I'm from not far from Hamilton originally. I live in Winnipeg now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very good.
That's great. Winnipeg.
Winterpeg.
Freaking cold. Yeah, exactly.
one of my favorite memes on Winnipeg is there's this image. Every city has a welcome to city sign. Well, there's the welcome to Winnipeg sign that you would see on the highway going in on the number one. And they took it and they added a lot of like fog and frost. And then they had one of the White Walkers from Game of Thrones up front, like welcome to Winnipeg, because it's just snowing hard all the time. It's good time.
Yeah.
So you can see my screen here, yes?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the main cover.
Oh,
it's
so cool.
illustrated by Jimbo Salgado. And this is colored by Dan Kemp. Dan Kemp, he's done
Bond.
Basically Spawn 50 to 150 in regards to coloring. That's all him. I feel very fortunate to have gotten a hold of such talent. These individuals, I think the biggest compliment or the most common compliment I've gotten over this image is, to summarize, a lot of people are impressed I was able to get these two, for lack of better wording, these two souls to cross. They were just so ecstatic to see such a collaboration. This mini-series is about these four characters. None of them are human. And basically what happens, all three issues take place in one night where these four characters, they're going to meet up and rendezvous, but that rendezvous is cut short with a problem involving a local drug problem. And it goes from there. Unfortunately, I can't say too much, but I can talk about the characters.
Yeah.
So
genre. Tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the genre and the setting, like stuff that you can talk about and kind of get people excited.
So this is a fantasy setting. It's actually based off of the first homebrew tabletop RPG that I ever ran. So D&D, Pathfinder, anybody who likes that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. This comic is based off of a run. The only thing that's different from my campaign that I hosted is I changed the characters. What else is going on in the story that I can talk about? Well, one of the best things I like about this, it's my first book, and I was very fortunate to get Philip Russert to publish my first time officially writing something, if that makes sense, writing a comic, I should say. All of these characters are of my own creation, and because it's its own isolated story, you don't have to deal with anything in regards to previous expectation going into it, or not. There's no universal or multiversal or the entire realm is at threat kind of dynamic. I've done the opposite. I've scaled it right down to a very intimate setting. The best way I like to parallel this is I like Spider-Man when he's fighting guys in fedoras and a supervillain. I personally, although all the credit given where it's due, the success of things like the Spider-Verse, I'm lost with Spider-Man on that because it scales too big for his capacity in my personal opinion. So this is like real intimate setting about just 4 fellas. The top fella with the red cape, he is a creature known as a weir, which is like a descendant of a giant kaiju-like electric eel known as like the great storm worm. He's 6.5 feet tall. He clears 350 pounds in body weight, and he's able to store raw lightning in his gizzard, which he can regurgitate. Essentially, he can vomit lightning.
Wow.
The fella in green with the glowing axe, he is a dwarf. He's devout to his practices in regards to respect to a being known as the divine. And because of that, he has a couple of mild blessings that help him in battle. Although he is very tough and rough looking, his main calling is he's erected a church in his hometown of Ivywood, just to try and be a good example with people having tougher times in life. In regards to temperament, he's almost like a long fuse to a very large cannon. His name is Sarlacc. The fella on the right there, that's Chasgo Blundale. He is a race of elves known as Argers. Argers live in a mountain range that has like a lot of silver deposits. And you can find this in real life with humans. You could probably Google image search it. Humans that are, if they eat a lot of silver, it actually tattoos their cells. They turn blue. They look like a Smurf, essentially. In this fantasy setting, these Argers, they worship the mountain. They think the mountain protects them from magic, and they scoff at magic. They have a high resistance with all the silver running through them. He was approached by an individual. Basically, he looked at his people as dysfunctional, and he wanted to leave the mountains. And he found a being that was able to help him learn how to disguise himself using magic. Up to this point, he's worked his way up in ranks where he's actually a representative of a noble. And nobody knows he's an Arger. They all think he's a human. So it's kind of everybody views like, what are you doing? Like one little slip up, you're done kind of thing. But he seems to be fitting in well. His goals are to try and find a way for Argers to leave their dysfunctional society, leave the mountains, and blend in with the rest of the creatures in the realm. The last guy up front, his name is Dunanini. He's a half dwarf and a half gnome. He draws from both bloodlines, but he doesn't fit in too well with either culture. He's really good with smithing. Unlike his mother, who has a natural magical influence on nature out in the wilderness, he appears to have an influence on metals and crystalline structures. So you can see peeking over his shoulder is what looks like a telescope. He's kind of jury-rigged it so it can like blast raw arcana out of it. Kind of like a cannon you would see over top of War Machine's shoulder from Marvel Comics. I'll show you a couple of the different... here is a variant cover of Chasgo Blundale. This was made by Erica Hollis from Chicago. That's all digital. I think she did a great job. One of the coolest things I like about this image is when I described it to her, and I thought she did a good job expressing the description I made, I wanted him to look like he was changing, putting his disguise on as he was entering a lit room. So that's why you can see kind of blue and his eye is a different color. It's almost like the light is... It's just a very interesting effect how she put it all together. I was very impressed with that.
I love that image because that feels like, and please, D&D people, have my back on this one. I think I believe Wendy will, but that looks like something you would find in the player's handbook. Like you would turn the page and boom, that would be right there in your PH.
Looks like the part. You think that's something in like a rogue assassin archetype, and that they'd have
exactly.
Or like a charlatan background that would definitely fit in the look. If you look on his neck there, you'll see what looks like a chess piece, a rook. That is the source of his ability to... He has a couple of different magical gifts, but obviously changing his appearance is one of them. He basically it's his implement to actually allow him to use these abilities. Again, Erica did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I'll move on to another cover. This was drawn by, this is digital. It's made to look like it's painted. This is done by Jenna Stark, who lives in New York. This is supposed to be the first time Dunanini ever blasts that telescope. So you can see in the foreground the tree, and then you can see up close on his face, it's almost equal parts excitement and satisfaction over the amount of raw power that came out of that telescope. Makes me chuckle.
Again, really feels like something you'd find in the PH of the DMG. Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You can see he's got a smithing hammer in his hand, and as I said before, he has an arcane influence on metal, so his smithing hammer he has heated up, which makes kind of a neat little light source here.
So before you move on to the next one, we did have a really great question. I wanted to make sure.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us what classes would the characters be?
Oh.
What class would they be? Yeah.
Okay. I started with him. Well, somebody else gives him his abilities. I guess the closest equivalent would be Warlock, I guess. Technically, he has, technically a patron, if you will.
Okay.
This guy, well, I mean, he's got a cannon over his shoulder, so I guess straight up that's Artificer.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. I'll go on to the next one. Okay, so do you know the name Javier Saltares?
It sounds familiar.
I bet you it does. I'll tell you, this is the artist who drew this also drew the first comic I started collecting when I was old enough to. I had to do some back issues up front, but the second volume of Ghost Rider where Dan Ketch became a writer.
Oh, yeah.
This is the same artist. If you look up that Ghost Rider #1, and it's from 1990, from volume 2, this is the same guy. And for me, this is a real full circle moment. Now, Dan Kemp colored this, but Harvey Saltares, he drew that for me. I showed him some different interior images of this character. His name is Sarlacc Swamp Trudger. When I described what I kind of thought I wanted the cover to look like, I had one of him like swinging his axe, taking down a couple of skeletons. I had a couple suggestions. He drew this. He drew his own interpretation and gave me like a quick sketch. It was nothing like what I asked for, but immediately my instinct said, "Shut up and take my money."
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, this is really like a real big deal internally. I guess the best way to parallel this, imagine you wrote a song and you really liked the song, and then your favorite band performed it for you. This is the equivalent of that feeling. It's really cool to have had him make this cover for me.
I completely feel you there.
You were talking about classes. This one would be a little difficult. His people are farmers that have been terraforming over generations swampland. Because of that, they're really good at tracking and pacifying things that go bump in the night. But because of his devotion to this being known as the divine, I guess you'd have to multi-class him between Ranger and Cleric.
He actually felt like Ranger Swamp Druid to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. His axe is actually a holy weapon. So things like the undead,
cool.
They have a bit more oomph to them, if you will. But
Eddie's asking, is there going to be a fair amount of gore in the book?
There's mild gore. I think the most aggressive you'll see in this is not up close, but within a panel, you'll see a sword take a head off. There's one up close of a one-handed axe going through the top of a creature's head, and there is blood. It's definitely not the most goriest of comics, that's for sure. But
yeah,
it doesn't try to downplay if something's happening. It does show it a bit, you know.
So it kind of sounds like Star Wars gore, where you have decapitations and item hands being cut off and stuff.
That's not a
We don't
bad
really
thing.
see blood squirting or anything really.
I would say Star Wars with a little bit more blood being viewed, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a very fair comparison.
A splitting headache. Thank you, Eddie.
That's right. And then there's one more. Okay, so this isn't a cover. This is a pinup that's going to be on the Kickstarter.
Ooh.
It's a Kickstarter. We have a stretch goal involving this image, but we won't talk about that yet. I want to save something for later in the coming weeks. This is drawn by Sean Langley. I came across him on social media. I reached out to him. We spoke about an opening of him doing this work for me, and I made the description. I had the characters. I showed him some different images for my interiors, and I said I wanted them in the middle repelling a zombie horde, and immediately Sean said to me, "Hold on, stop right there. Don't say anything else. You had me at zombies." If you ever look him up, he has some really wild art, a lot of cryptid. The Flatlands Monster, Mothman. But he also recently has been doing a run with Sesame Street characters if they were a demon inside of them and they grew and all the skin ripped off. Really wild, gnarly stuff. Again, this image also was colored by Dan Kemp, and just the guy lives up to this. Looks like something you'd see out of a Spawn comic. Potentially, if you changed out the characters for Spawn characters, the line art, in my opinion, but also, of course, the coloring look of equal caliber. I'm very impressed at how this image turned out.
What I love about this piece is it's classic artist pinup, where
Yes.
battle artist pinup, wherein it's perfect for a poster. And really, what's cool about it is it's chaotic while still having a focus.
Yes.
You can tell where the focus is, what we're still looking at, and what's supposed to be the most important. But there is so much going on, and there's not a millimeter of wasted space. Like, just everything every piece of the page is utilized. Great, dude, great piece.
Yeah, I'm this knocked out of the park from both artists. I'm just thoroughly impressed. Again, this is the first time I've written a comic. And to get all this talent to amplify what I'm trying to bring to the table, it's just nothing short of a pleasure, you know?
So here's my question, because I do know Phil Russer, great dude. I worked with him on the first issue of his Tragedy series.
I've got his trade paperback right here.
Sweet. Yeah, no, solid series. What I would ask you is, how instrumental or helpful was he in finding any of your artists and whatnot? Because I do know that he has his own stable of artists that he represents. And
okay, so that's an interesting question. The reason I say that is my book was almost complete before I approached Phil about potentially publishing.
Okay.
I thought it was very important that, because I don't have a reputation to say it will be good, you're just going to have to take my word on it. I didn't want to do something like that. For a first time, the art had to be there in order for, I wanted to make sure that if somebody was going to buy into me, in this case, Phil, that he knew what he was getting himself into, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And let's be honest, guys. I mean, as a fellow comic creator, I know that these guys did not come cheap. So you put your money where your mouth was.
Something like that.
Yeah. Dude, okay. So, sorry, we are getting towards the end of the program. I do have to tell everyone, please click the notifications, check out, make sure to follow. We are going to ask one more question, and then we're going to talk about, we'll talk a little bit more and finish it up. So, Wendy, we have one more trivia question, right?
Can I have,
so what's the,
6 seconds? There's one more image. I'll see.
Yeah, go to town. Yeah, sorry, let's do that.
Okay, so this is Madrakis. This is the weir who can breathe lightning. This is hand painted. And
yeah, you can tell.
Much like Harvey Salterez, this is a guy, his name is John Zalesnik. And he has had passive influence from a very early age. Have you ever played Shinobi for the NES?
Yes.
The cover art is the same guy that did this image.
I love that.
He also did Worms franchise from the late 90s, early 2000s. Warhammer Chaos Gate was a game I played. He did the cover of that. He's done many Magic the Gathering cards, and this definitely looks like a Magic the Gathering painting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah, it looks like something you'd find from like a Monty Michael Moore or any other number of guys. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, heavily impressed by everybody that has done this art, and I'm really looking forward. I've been working on this for almost just over 2 years, rather, and it is torture not to be able to like just blab about the whole thing all the time, kind of thing. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Gorgeous.
There we go,
dude. Gorgeous. Wendy, we got one last question.
Yep, one more.
What's the final question?
All right, number 10. Which Marvel villain has taken the most lives?
Ooh. Which Marvel villain, and you can answer this too, Ray, if you want. Which Marvel villain has taken the most lives? Highest kill count, baby.
Highest kill count?
Yep.
Am I waiting for other people to answer, or am I allowed to answer now?
You can answer if you think you know it.
Well, the first one I want to say is Thanos, but Steve just beat me to it. It's probably Galactus. Thanos has eliminated half of life. Well, the comic version, I like that better, just to like look.
And so if we're talking about
ride, but I'm gonna go with Galactus because of just how old the damn creature is.
That's the point. That's it right there. Galactus has been doing this for billions of years and taking out planets. Yes, of course, in one shot, Thanos definitely beat him in that one moment. But as far as over time and everything, it's 100% Galactus. So yeah, guys, Galactus is the correct answer. We got Eddie Von B gets the 3 points, 2 points for Steve. Everybody else gets a point. Wendy is going to find out who our winner is today. But Ray, thank you so much, man. I would like to have you on another time.
Sure.
So that we can, maybe even during the Kickstarter, so we can learn more, because there is so much cool stuff, and sadly we didn't get to see as much of it as I would have liked, obviously. But dude, you've got something really cool here. Guys, please go check out the Madcaps. Go ahead, homie.
Check out the Madcaps on Kickstarter. Filbo Publishing is going to be taking care of all the nitty gritties. It's very interesting now in promotion mode. I've been creating for this whole time this little story, and now I get to actually say, "Hey, check this out. It's gonna be awesome." Really looking forward to that. You can find me on Facebook as DM Ray. You can find the Madcaps page also on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram as Raymond the DM. DM Ray was taken, unfortunately. And using that same name, Raymond the DM, you can find me on what I like to call nowadays Twixter, formerly Twitter.
I like that. That's a very good way of doing it. Steve, I appreciate you asking me, man. As I'm looking at it here, it does have Eddie first and you right behind. But always feel free to ask, guys. Thank you. Like it does a lot of times too. What happens, Steve, is that you sent so close together that on your screen it's going to say your name first. But yeah, it was Eddie first up here. And I appreciate you asking, because of course we all want them points. Wendy, speaking of them points, who's winning that sweet digital copy of the Madcaps issue 1?
Well, we have to make a decision because we got a tie.
Uh-oh.
So
I can do both.
2 winners.
Both.
Or...
Ray's going to do both.
Okay, I was going to say I do have a quick tiebreaker question if we
Great.
want to do that.
No, let's do both. I think that's great.
Okay.
Thank you, Ray. We appreciate you. Who are winners tonight?
Our winners are Eddie and Steve Vendetta.
Steve Vendetta and Eddie. That last one, apparently you put it on there so you guys both win. That's hilarious.
1 point apart.
And then Stevie steps in. So good. I'm so glad that happened. Lorena's like, sudden death.
There was only 3 points between first and third place.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that's awesome. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to be back here. I don't remember who our guest is next week, but I know it's someone awesome. Ray, you're the man. Thank you so much. Guys, we've had an absolute dumpster fire of an episode, and we had fun with it. And that's how you do it, everybody. Have a terrific day. Ray, thank you so much. Guys, my name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. We'll see you next week with more Talking Treats trivia. Have a good one.